And just last week, a group called the World Organization to Investigate the Persecution of Falun Gong. This organization released a new report. It revealed that Chinese military hospitals have been secretly carrying out infant organ transplant experiments for over a decade. Yes, babies killed for their organs to be transplanted into adults. So now let me explain how it works. According to this report, more than 10 years ago, Chinese military hospitals quietly began experimenting with infant organ transplants. In the beginning, the failure rate was sky high. The organs were too tiny, the blood vessels too thin, the risk of blood clotting enormous. But two breakthroughs changed everything. First, PLA medical teams mastered the surgical techniques to operate on tiny organs. Second, Zhejiang University developed a drug that slashed post-surgery blood clots. And just like that, infant organ transplants shifted from experiments to promotion. So now let me talk about why babies. Well, the answer is brutally simple. In the world of organ transplants, infants are seen as the ideal donors. First, their organs may be tiny, but they grow and adapt. Once placed inside an adult, infant kidneys can literally expand and function as if they've always belonged there. Second, infant cells are young and resilient. The rejection rate plummets. The recipient's immune system is far less likely to attack the organ. Third, because these organs are fresh and regenerative, surgery success rates soar, survival rates go up, and long-term outlooks look better. Put it all together, and for the wealthy people who are desperate to extend their lives, baby organs look like the perfect spare parts. And there's another reason that makes it even more horrifying, which is that the supply pool has slid downward step by step. 20 years ago, when this first started, organs came from prisoners of conscience, mostly Falun Gong practitioners, later Uyghurs. Then it expanded to mass population, college students, missing teenagers from poor or rural areas. And now it's gone all the way down to children and newborns. And now they even offer to manufacture your own child and then kill him or her for the organs. So this isn't medicine. It's something darker than that. And only in CCP China could such a system exist. So how does this black chain actually operate? Investigators mapped out 3 steps. First, caged women. Some women are kidnapped or bought, forced into repeated pregnancies. They aren't treated as mothers. They're treated as machines, baby-bearing machines. Their babies are born not to live, but to go straight to the operating table. Step number 2, artificial conception. This is the darkest part. Sperm is taken from the patient himself or from his direct family to create a baby through IVF. Because that baby shares blood with the patient, the transplant is almost guaranteed to match. Specifically, an aging CCP official could literally use his or his son's sperm to make a custom baby, but that baby isn't meant to be raised. The moment he's born or she's born, he or she is rushed not into the parent's arms, but into an operating room. Organs cut out so the powerful man can live longer. That's not medicine. That's killing your own child for his or her organ. Even animals don't do this. Step number 3, forced preterm births. So to speed up supply, many babies are delivered early by C-section. Doctors don't care if the babies survive, only if organs are intact. So the organization WOIPFG even named 3 main supply bases. They are in Shandong, Henan, and Sichuan. They're all provinces with high population. Surrogacy groups, even sex trade gangs are pulled in to profit. So it's horrifying. And this isn't some rogue operation. The report says it's backed by military hospitals and protected at the highest levels in the leadership. It quoted one former vice president of a PLA hospital said that he attended what was billed as a baby organ transplant seminar. But in reality, he said it was a black market networking event. Hospitals coordinating supply and demand. Why do they do it? 2 reasons. First, profit. Transplants are the most lucrative business hospitals have right now. So due to population decline, many Chinese hospitals cannot stay afloat, but organ transplant business is booming. So the first reason is profit, and the second is demand. The CCP elites' massive wealth and obsess with longevity drive the market. So for them, infant organs are the ultimate human gold mine. So now let me give you some real cases. 12 years ago in 2013, Shanghai's Changzheng Hospital, which is part of the Second Military Medical University, openly performed 3 infant organ transplants. The donors were 33 days old, 50 days old, and 40 days old. Lead surgeon was Dr. Zheng Li, who bragged that across China, only his team could do transplant surgeries like that. And he said publicly that infant organs are not useless, they are treasures in medicine. And that was in 2013. Fast forward to 2023. The American Journal of Transplantation published a paper from Shanghai Renji Hospital. The paper is about 2 newborns, just one day old, and another 3 days old, had their kidneys removed and transplanted into not babies, but 2 adults aged 25 and 34. And here's the red flag. Normal organ matching takes at least 1 to 14 weeks. And it's longer for newborn kidneys. Doctors say it can take months for newborn kidneys to match. Yet these babies were only days old when their organs were removed. That means the matching had to have been done before birth, way before birth, through genetic testing or amniotic fluid. So these were not unexpected donations. They were pre-designated custom donors. And the numbers prove it. The Renji Hospital, the hospital admits on its own website that it has completed 22 infant kidney transplants. Not 2, not 3, 22. In one hospital. This is systematic. There's no way a hospital could have this many premature babies who die and happen to have a matching recipient waiting at the time for a kidney. It's just mathematically, it's impossible. So some people may say, maybe these premature babies couldn't have survived, but experts disagree. The same journal published a letter from a professor at the Louisiana State University Health Science Center. He pointed out that one of the babies in the Chinese paper wasn't terminal at all. Low blood pressure, that's normal. Weak light reflux, normal before 30 weeks. So his conclusion was, he said, we can question the decision to withdraw life-sustaining therapy. So his question was based on the assumption that these were normal babies. In plain English, his question basically was saying that the baby wasn't dying. Life support was stopped deliberately to free up the organs. And doctors in Taiwan reacted strongly to that paper. They were horrified by the cases. They'd explained that premature babies at 29 weeks are very strong and have a 90% chance of survival. So extracting organs from these premature babies is a crime. And there's a gynecologist, her name is Ling Qing-yi, who was formerly the Deputy Minister of Health in Taiwan. And she said that just typing about her remark made her sick. She'd explained that in her entire career delivering premature babies, she never once, not for a second, thought of them as organ sources. She said, we hold these fragile lives like cracked glass. She said, to even imagine using them as donors is unthinkable. And yet in China, it's happening, not once, not twice, at least 22 times at a single hospital. And that's just the official numbers. And then in Western countries, when newborn kidneys are transplanted, they are usually used to save another child. In China, they're being transplanted into full-grown adults. Why? Because adult those elites, adult elites, are the ones paying, because the system is built not to save the vulnerable, but to serve the powerful. This isn't medicine. This is murder and crime against humanity. So now let me talk about how they cover it up. The organization's investigators and whistleblowers say the cover-up runs on three main tactics. First tactic is they separate extraction from transplantation. So on paper, everything looks clean. One team harvests the organ, and another team implants it. The hospital records only show the legal side, the transplant. The extraction happens in the shadows. So if you try to trace it, you hit a dead end. The hospital says, we didn't harvest anything. We only transplanted an organ provided to us. So that split serves the evidence chain. And the second tactic is public-private partnerships. So patients are funneled to private clinics or non-military hospitals for surgery. Those places face less oversight, but the actual surgeons are often senior PLA or state hospital doctors. They lend their names or even fly in to perform the operation. So on paper, it looks like a small private hospital did the transplant. In reality, it's powered by the state medical system. And tactic number 3, secret bases. And this is the most chilling. So for example, in Harbin, in Northeast China, there's a top-tier hospital building. From the outside, it looks impressive, brand new. But for more than a decade, it has never opened to the public. The equipment inside stays pristine, maintained, and ready at any time. Insiders say it's not a real hospital. It's a secret transplant factory. No outpatients, no admissions, just an empty shell until an organ becomes available. Then the operating rooms come alive. And this isn't isolated. Investigators have identified empty hospitals across China, fully stocked operating theaters with no waiting rooms, no public records. They're simply standing by for the next shipment of supply. So if you string all of this together and you don't see random cases, you see a complete chain. So from caged women to designed pregnancies, to forced preterms, to secret bases, to missing children and teenagers, this black industry has been running in China for years. It's not scientific progress. I think it's crime against humanity.